Hello, welcome to this brief introduction to Virtual Atlantia. My name is Melchior, and what I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about something that has been discussed in various forums online, but there seem to be some questions about exactly what it is, and that is virtual.atlantia.sca.org, also known as Virtual Atlantia as the brand name. So this is a portal to an Atlantean ecosystem of websites, services, and general capabilities to help people stay in touch virtually, teach their arts and sciences, provide information, and generally just maintain the relationships and distribution of knowledge that make the SCA one of the great places that we enjoy our hobbies for. So, what you see in front of you is the Virtual Atlantia portal. There are two menus to talk about briefly. The first is the horizontal menu at the top. That links directly back to main kingdom website pages. So if you click one of these links, royalty, newcomer information, offices, etc., that's going to take you to the same page it would if you were on atlantia.sca.org. These are links and bits of information that you need throughout all of Atlantia's websites just for accessibility and in general knowledge. So they're here as well, obviously. Now next we have a menu down the left side of the page, which is our menu for the Virtual Atlantia capabilities. And you can hide this if you need to. The Virtual Atlantia homepage has access to calendars, the ability to add activities to those calendars, get university credit, access our wiki, and access our various social media platforms. But this is not the end of Virtual Atlantia. We have a number of other things in the works, so look for those in the near future. Now let's just touch on each of those briefly. First of all, the calendar. And this is really the heart of the Virtual Atlantia ecosystem. And this should look familiar to a lot of you. This is a regular Google Calendar that is populated with activities happening throughout, not even just Atlantia, but throughout the known world. Anybody can add an activity to here as long as it is appropriate and content for our audience. Then we welcome that. Here in the agenda view, you can see for each day the activities that have been scheduled, when they happen, and clicking on any given one will give you a description of that event as well as meeting information so you know how to access it. Some of these provide links to documentation that you may want to read for the class or other resources, handouts, things like that. Some don't. Some are very simple and straightforward. Here's an example with just a description and a link to the Facebook event room. But this gives you all the information that you should need to determine if this is a class activity that you are interested in, and if so, please join. Now, if you've taken a class, or maybe you're just interested in teaching a class, getting an event or activity onto the calendar is as simple as filling out a form. The Add Activity form is very straightforward. It takes approximately a minute to fill out. I've done it several times, and when you're done, this form will be submitted to the activities database where it will be reviewed, and we'll just make sure that the content is appropriate for the SCA. And then with a click of a button, all of the events will be added to the calendar. Usually moves pretty quickly with events showing up on the calendar usually within a day or so. So please don't add an activity that's happening within a few hours. But give a few days to get on there. A little bit of planning goes a long way. Now, if you've taken or taught a class, the University of Atlantia has agreed to give credit for those teaching events, and all you have to do for that is fill out a separate form. If you click here, it will take you to the University of Atlantia website with a form somewhat similar to this. Fill it out in a minute or so, click submit. Again, it will be reviewed, and as long as everything's in order, credit shows up on your University of Atlantia transcript. Pretty good deal if you ask me. Next thing we have down here is the wiki, and the wiki is a little bit of a longer topic, so we have separate videos just on that. But if you're not familiar with a wiki, I encourage you to visit ours, and on the left side menu there's a random link. It just says random. Click that a few times. Explore the wiki. You're going to learn about people and places and groups and activities and arts and sciences. There's a lot of good information out there. Approximately 700 articles have already been added to our wiki, and it grows every single day. Social media is also a big part of what keeps us connected in these virtual environments, and we have 4 main social media outlets. Those are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now YouTube, where you're probably finding this video right now. Simply click the link. It takes you right to the public official pages for each of those social media outlets. So, with that, you should have a basic understanding of what Virtual Atlantia is. It's a collection, an ecosystem of different tools and capabilities to help us maintain communication and dissemination of knowledge. You should have an understanding of the menus and what they provide, as well as our activity calendar, how to get university credit, where to find the wiki, and things like that. But there are always questions, and if you have questions, I encourage you to reach out. You can contact me at webminister@atlantia.sca.org, and I will do my best to find the right person to answer your question if I don't know the answer, which is frequent. And hopefully, if you have suggestions for capabilities or corrections or improvements, hopefully we can incorporate those. If you just have questions about a given activity, hopefully we can put you in touch with the right people. The point is that you get the experience out of Virtual Atlantia that makes it what you want and need, and we are attempting to provide that. So again, thank you for taking the time to sit with me through this introduction to Virtual Atlantia. Hope to see you at an event soon.